Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to day 4 here at the 2015 Twin Cities Film Fest. We're on the Go 96.3 sponsored red carpet. I'm one of your hosts, Doug Sidney. We are lucky enough to be joined by the team behind Finding Circadia. Jesse Tendler, Evan Weinstein, thank you so much for being here. You're both from out of town. Share with your audience how this came to be and why.
This was really a project to get everybody acting again. You know, we're all friends, and I wanted to write something that everybody can be a part of, and and it was a wonderful experience. And Jesse came on board as a producer.
Yeah, it was sort of kind of coincidental that I ended up doing it. Sort of synchronicity of Evan and I had been auditioning together for years as actors.
You two are first and foremost actors, and so what was behind this was creating work for yourselves to work on as actors, and what it ended up being was a project that you took on other roles doing. So, Evan, you're our lead actor in the film. Jesse, you make a cameo appearance, which is great. Talk to us about tackling those two roles, you as a director and the 4, 6, 8 different production roles that you had in addition to your cameo. Talk to us about that.
I think a wonderful part about this process was that everybody was, helping out, wearing different hats. So it wasn't like, when I was in a scene, I had people to kind of guide me and tell me what I was doing okay and not okay, and it was the spirit of a lot of actors around, which was wonderful for the project. It was difficult because you're, directing, and there were times we'd lose a location, and I would have to rewrite the scene that night to fit like the next location of the day, and things like that. It's like there's no one that's gonna, help you here. Like you have to get that done, and we got it done. There's people, that help you out, but at the end of the day, it has to go smooth, and losing locations is one of the fun of independent filmmaking.
We filmed the whole thing in New York City. We did like a day or two in Atlantic City in New Jersey, but the majority of it was shot in Brooklyn. And in New York City, locations is the single most difficult thing for indie filmmaking because you don't have much of a budget, and you have to get all these locations and figure out company moves and all that. It's definitely the most challenging.
Now, I want to go back to something you mentioned. You had the sort of cohesiveness on your crew that you honestly had people in your production telling you this or this about your work.
Yeah.
But how important is that? Because yes men on a set, we don't always achieve our goals. But talk about that.
Well, I mean, I went to acting school with a lot of the actors in the project. Jesse, like he said, I knew through auditioning, but I'm very comfortable in front of the people that are in the film in terms of just acting in front of them, and I trust them, and that's one of the reasons why I wrote parts for them in the film. I could not have done my first movie directing, writing, and acting in it if I didn't have a support group like that. So it was very helpful, and I'm always open to advice, regardless of whether personally, I'm not one of those people that is just shuts everything off. I mean, I think getting advice from people is important to keep growing, so I'm always asking for opinions and things like that, and it helps.
Is this your first venture directing? You've acted before, obviously. Was this your first step into that?
First time directing, and I'm planning to do it again. So.
That was my next question. Are you going to do it again?
Yeah.
Would you also lead, act in something that you're directing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an actor first,
Yep.
So I think that, I like to write good parts for myself that I wouldn't normally see come my way. So, I do have a couple things on my plate, and I'm excited to kind of get in there and do that, once this whole process, starts to die down, because this is like having like a baby.
Talk about the current and the future of the film.
Yeah, I can take that. So we've been doing the festival circuit since June of 2014. We've shown at, at least 10, 12 festivals, won awards at a lot of those, which has been really awesome just to be recognized for our work. And this past summer, earlier in the summer, we got a distribution deal. So we're on video on demand on every cable platform across the country, and working on a couple other deals now to try to get it in various other platforms as well.
Talk to us about working on a script with comedy. It's not easy. It's not automatic.
Yeah, I mean, the goal of this was to have like a slice of life realistic film. I don't think we ever set out to say like there were times where we would be filming a scene, like remember the scene where I was like smoking in the bathroom? Everybody's like, that's really funny, keep doing that, but we weren't really going for that, so I didn't have it in the film. There was never a scene where I wanted to keep it in purely because it was, if it tells a story, that, you know, but there's a lot of drama and a lot of comedy in the movie, and I think that's like life. Life is funny and it's sad and it's everything. So, you know, I mean, in terms of this film, we never like aim to like hit any comedic notes. Although there's some really fun, like when you get into post, you know, and you're kind of working on tightening things up. Sometimes you do need, but when we're there, we weren't really thinking about. We were just making a good scene. As long as it feels right and is natural, then it could be funny. But I mean, it's, you know.
Especially since, you know, as Evan was saying, the leads on this film all knew each other. They'd gone to school together, they'd worked together before, and so they just had great chemistry on set. And so that comedy just came out naturally with them.
You're here in Minneapolis. Is this your first time here?
Yeah.
It is.
It's not my first time in Minneapolis. It's definitely my first time at the Twin Cities Film Fest, though,
Okay.
and I'm loving it.
So your first time as filmmakers here. Talk to us about your experience. How many more days do you have here? Are you staying until, it's Tuesday that we're getting to see this film again, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Tuesday, like 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
So yeah, this festival has been incredible. It's been so on point and well organized, and the lengths everybody went to make it special, and just how everything was put together is so impressive. Like, and I love the city. I'm gonna be here for the duration until the end of the festival.
Oh, you are? That's
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
gonna just enjoy my time here. You know,
Okay. And how long are you getting to stay with us?
I'm only going to be here till Tuesday because I have to get back to work in New York. I mean, I'm also here with another film, In the Dark, which is screening tonight at 9:30.
Awesome. Check that out as well. I did not know that. I'm glad that came up. You two, thanks so much for being here.